Welcome, everyone. My name is Dolores Miller. I'm the CEO of Mission Hospice, and it is my honor to welcome you tonight to our virtual Fall Gala. The Mission Hospice Auxiliary Gala has been an important fundraiser for us since 1984, and I think you will enjoy the lineup we have in store for you tonight. All of us here at Mission Hospice, throughout the Bay Area, and across the world continue to have our lives and livelihoods disrupted by the COVID-19 virus. It's been a long haul. However, Mission Hospice and Home Care continues to provide the high quality, exceptional end-of-life programs for our patients, families, and the communities through it all. While we had hopefully anticipated that this year's gala could be done in person, we are thrilled to see that so many friends have joined us virtually tonight. You are proof of the compassion of our community, and I thank you. Before we begin, I'd especially like to recognize our amazing auxiliary volunteers who have organized this event. The Fall Gala is our most significant fundraising event of the year, and the auxiliary has worked tirelessly to ensure that our community could come together, albeit virtually once again. A huge thank you to the entire auxiliary committee. I'd also like to recognize our donors and sponsors who have already contributed so much towards Mission Hospice. Tonight, you will hear many stories and excerpts of the incredible programs and care provided by Mission Hospice through the presentations. This level of care is possible only because of our community's continued generosity and support. So, I encourage you to bid early and often on the auction items and to open your hearts and your pocketbooks during tonight's Fund a Need. Tonight's Fund a Need supports our many programs offered by Mission Hospice to support our patients and the community. We will also draw the winning raffle ticket for the gorgeous Kearns Fine Jewelry bracelet towards the end of the show, so definitely stay tuned. Now, I would like to introduce our MCs for tonight's show. Mary Chigos, who is a member of our Mission Hospice board, and Jenny Rhodes, RN, one of our incredible outreach nurses.
And I want to say, howdy! How did you do? We are so excited to be back again. Well, not quite in the saddle, but we're back again. And we're very excited to have Jenny as our co-host from the outreach team, and we'll hear more about her, but she's had a long experience with Mission Hospice, and she can add a lot of richness to the things we're going to talk about tonight. But we're just excited to be here. This is the gala. We wish we were dancing with you and having good meals someplace, but we're going to do that next year. This year, we're just going to have fun while we're doing this. We're going to have a good time. We're going to hear some wonderful stories, and we're going to see great auction items. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you, and welcome to you all. That was a nice pre-show, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah. Enjoyed seeing all the pictures of some of the staff and some of our families in the community. And yeah, we're excited for you all to be here. We've got several opportunities for donations and through Fund a Need, for auctioning on items, and like we mentioned already, the raffle, which will, the sales will close at 6:30. So don't miss out on any of those things.
We'll be telling you that all night long, all night long. We do want to remind you, if you're having any problems getting on to bid, that there's tech support. You'll be seeing it on the screen. They'll tell you how to do it. So we hope we have it all covered, and we hope we're going to make it easy for you to bid and easy to enjoy the evening. And we're going to start out with a video from one of our board members, John Draper, who is our newest board member at Mission Hospice. And he wanted to say a special hello and welcome you tonight.
Hello, my name is John Draper, and I'm a new board member for Mission Hospice. I want to welcome all of you virtually to our gala, and thank you for being with us. I've been in the community for, well, since 1976. I've been a teacher all those years. I've always worked with children. I helped with the Library Foundation, other things in town. Now, as I approach my 80s, I'm beginning to think about, let's call it what it is, end of life. And some of us will need the services, the palliative care of Mission Hospice. Mission Hospice is a nonprofit, and we look to our neighbors and our community for support. Please join me in support of Mission Hospice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John Draper, for taking the time to welcome us. It was so nice to see you, and I know the people in the audience are excited about seeing you too. You're a well-known person in the community, and we are just grateful to have you on the board. So welcome, John, and thank you for welcoming us. Mm-hmm. So Jenny, let's talk a little bit about our auxiliary.
Yeah, so we have a fantastic group of folks that help us put on this gala every year and have really had a long history of working and fundraising for Mission. So
since 1984.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've put on past galas, they've put on this current gala this year, and they've raised over $750,000 for Mission Hospice over the years. So we really want to thank them for all their work and for this and past gala events and all of the work that they do. So what I'd like to do next is introduce the auxiliary member and current president of the auxiliary, whose name is Vibs Gade. So thanks, Vibs. Let's hear from you.
Hello, I am Vibeke Gade, President of Mission Hospice Auxiliary. I joined Mission Hospice in 2012 by introduction from World Wings International, a group of Pan Am stewardesses. I was ready for some volunteer community work. In 2019, I had a personal experience with Mission Hospice when my husband, who had Parkinson's disease, was hospitalized, and I had to make some fast decisions where to go from there. Hospice came up. This was an emotional time. I was very impressed with the hospital team, the doctors, the nurses, the social workers, the volunteers. What an amazing network of kind, caring people, all coming together to show support and care for my husband. Over the following 2 weeks, he spent at the beautiful Woodside Hospice House. I assure you that your generosity and support will be greatly appreciated by families who are trying to navigate a difficult situation.
Thanks so much, Vibs. Thanks for sharing your story and for doing so much. And you know, the auxiliary put together a lot of the lovely baskets that you see at the auction. So, you know, check all those out. We have a lot of really great items on there. And I heard that there is a golf package.
Yes, I know you're looking at me, Jenny, because you know I'm playing a lot of golf these days. Well, playing might be the word, but I am playing a little at golf, I think it is. Anyway, there's a great auction item with Peninsula Golf and Country Club and the Olympic Club. Those are two premier golf clubs in our area on the peninsula. And if you're not a member of those clubs, then you can't play there. But tonight, you have that opportunity. Tonight, you can bid on that, and you will be playing at one of those two golf courses, or be playing at both those golf courses if you actually get that auction item. So I am very excited. I've already put my bid in, and as soon as I get finished with this wonderful program that we're trying to do tonight to share all these items with you, then I'm going to get back on and bid again.
That's right. And we also have some Giants tickets. So that's a local Major League Baseball team, and those will be exciting. You won't want to miss those. We also have some wines.
We do. We have a wonderful, wonderful, I think it's 12 bottles of Pinot Noir, as I recall, and beautiful, beautiful selections. And again, it's going to be, the winner's going to have a very, very nice wine club just starting a wine cellar with that organization. Mm-hmm. So we have you said the Giants. Yeah, that seems like something we all know about, don't we? Yeah, there's Giant tickets for next year. And I always like these things to bid on because even if I'm not able to go, they're fun things to give to family. They're great gifts. So mm-hmm. I think between the Warriors and the Giants and golf, we've got some really wonderful, wonderful items. So take a look at them. You can watch the show and you can bid at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think it's my honor right now to introduce a video with Glenda Carney and Ann Nolan. These are two auxiliary members who have been with Mission Hospice Auxiliary for a long time, and each one of them have something they'd like to say to you.
Hello, I'm Glenda Carney. I have been a member of Mission Hospice Auxiliary for 23 years. Several years after I joined, I was president for 4 of those years. So I've been very active and have loved this organization. It was the best decision I have made, one of the best in my life. My husband was diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer. So when he came home from the hospital and started deteriorating, we had a crisis one day. And I knew immediately to call Mission Hospice. Within 1 hour, I had a nurse there to help me through this crisis. They continued for the full 6 months to help us not only emotionally, but bringing all the medicines, the materials we needed, the beds, the help. I can't begin to tell you how comforting it was to always be able to call somebody, even at the spur of the moment, when you needed somebody to help you make a decision. I hope that other people will have this inspiration to join Mission Hospice, the auxiliary, or being a volunteer of any kind. It is the best decision I have ever made, so please join me in Mission Hospice and support this wonderful organization. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Nolan, and currently one of 2 vice presidents of the auxiliary. I'm the recording secretary, and I'm also the auxiliary's liaison to the board of directors. I want to tell you a little bit about Mission Hospice and my family, and also a little bit about the auxiliary. Mission Hospice served me, and by extension my family, twice in the last 10 years, once for my father and again for my mother. They each died from different diseases and under different circumstances, and yet with the same dignity, comfort, and peace I had no idea could happen at the end of life. It was because Mission Hospice was there with us. Mission Hospice was there from our first phone call for all our needed support, answers to all our questions, and comfort for a fragile emotional state. They made the overwhelming doable. They allowed me to be a daughter. And best of all, they realized that my parents, whom I still miss every day, mattered until the last moment of their lives. And that's why I volunteer at the auxiliary. It's my thank you to those remarkable people who helped us years ago. I want to help ensure that this kind of care is available to all who want it. That's why I joined. But I stay because, bonus, I found a group of kind, smart, generous people, and we have fun together. Fun with a serious purpose, but fun nonetheless. I'm proud to know them and to have them as friends. So I hope you'll give some thought to joining us at the auxiliary. And I hope you have a great time at our gala and auction tonight, especially at the auction part.
Thank you so much, Glenda and Ann. And thank you, Glenda. You know, Glenda Carney is one of our Diamond sponsors. So, you know, she has gone above and beyond for our organization, and we're just so grateful. And the importance of the auxiliary cannot be overstated. You know, I heard that they are in need of some new members. Is that right?
They are, like all organizations, they are looking for new members. This is, as we've been talking about this evening, a wonderful group of women. They were very open to having men too, so if you're having that urge, you can check the website and check the auxiliary and make your introductions. I'm sure they would love to have you come to a meeting and see what they're all about. They're just super people, and you know, Ann too has been president, or she's one of the co-presidents this year. So the people in the organization take turns really serving, and I think that we are very, very blessed to have them, and I think there's probably a lot of you out there that would enjoy being a member, so check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of thanking, who else do we have to thank tonight?
Well, we definitely want to thank Kearns Fine Jewelers for this beautiful bracelet that is part of the raffle tonight. So be sure and buy your raffle tickets. It closes at 6:30, and at the end of this show, Dolores will pull the winning raffle ticket, and we will announce it on the show. So The auction doesn't end till 9 p.m., but this ends at 6:30, so this is your chance right now. So we're very grateful to Kearns Jewelers. They've been longtime supporters of Mission Hospice. So we're very, very happy to have them, again, be supporting us.
Yeah. And then, you know, the other opportunity you have is the Fund a Need. And the Fund a Need is also very important to our organization. Mission Hospice, as a nonprofit, unaffiliated, only hospice in San Mateo County that has that qualification, we do provide service that's above and beyond what is required by Medicare. Many different programs that are community funded, community supported. Those are all available to check out on our website. We go into detail there, but you know, we've served a lot of families and above and beyond what's reimbursed, and that is thanks to you all, our donors and our supporters. So it is now my pleasure to introduce the next segment, where we will hear from several folks that are family members of people that have been served on Mission Hospice. So let's hear what they have to say.
Hello, my name is Bethany Berkowitz, and I'm an outreach nurse with Mission Hospice. I chose Mission Hospice to care for my mother-in-law during her final weeks of life because I knew that the clinicians assigned to care for her would do everything that they could and give so much of their heart to the work and take care of my family both during that sensitive time and afterwards. I couldn't have made a better choice. Thank you.
I'm Laura Jeanchild, Stacy Culver's mom. You wonderful people took care of Stacy in her apartment and at the Mission Hospice house. Our family is so grateful for your exquisite care. You brought so much beauty to this situation and helped us and guided us and loved us every step of the way. We love you back and will always hold you in our hearts.
My name is Mary Valmana, and I'm a grateful member of the community who sought bereavement services at Mission after my son Scott took his life 5 years ago. I continue to attend programs and volunteer now as a co-facilitator of the Survivors of Suicide Loss group that meets twice a month for families and friends who've newly lost loved ones to suicide. It is through these programs, working with trained counselors, and being with fellow grievers from all walks of life that continues to help me grow and heal in my loss. Thank you, Mission Hospice.
Hey everyone, Bill Brotherton here. My wife Kathy entered the Mission Hospice program last year near the end of her 7-year battle with cancer. I can't imagine how that final stretch would have played out for Kath and the whole family without the loving and caring support of the Mission Hospice staff. All their services, medical, social, spiritual, ongoing grief support services, they've all been simply outstanding and so appreciated. I can't begin to thank them enough.
I'm Marcy Brown, and my husband Chet was a patient of Mission Hospice in early 2020. The care we received from Mission Hospice was wonderful, and I'm still receiving great support through their grief support groups. Mission Hospice has been wonderful for all of us, and I'm very appreciative to have it in my life.
Colleen Williams, and I am on the administrative team at Mission Hospice. When my dad was diagnosed with cancer and it was time for hospice, I was blessed to have my Mission family team take care of my dad. In my dad's final days, Dr. Pasternak and Sue came over, and my siblings and I were all gathered around wearing one of my dad's hats. And Dr. Gary said, "It doesn't get any better than that." The next morning, my dad passed peacefully in his sleep. On behalf of my mom and family, we will always be eternally grateful to my Mission family team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bethany, Colleen, Mary, Marcy, Bill, and Laura Jean. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. They're very heartfelt and meaningful to all of us that are here tonight and to others who have been part of your journey. We're really appreciative of you taking the time to do this. And I want to mention that some of the people in that video were staff of Mission Hospice, some were clients, some are now volunteers, and many are donors. So again, we keep coming back to the fact that it is a circle. It's not just a few, it's a circle of wonderful, wonderful people. So each one of these stories have been so moving, Jenny. It's just kind of hard for us to articulate after each time to be able to really tell you. I know you're all feeling it out there too. I mean, we're not the only ones trying to articulate this, so we just are really, really grateful.
Yeah, and what's amazing is that it's a small representation of the greater community that we have been able to work with. And as a nurse at Mission Hospice, I will say that it is a great honor to be able to work with families and during some of the times that they need the most support. And to be able to do that and to connect with folks is really our pleasure and our honor to be able to serve in that way. So I want to pause for a moment, and I want to acknowledge some of the donors that we've gotten some names in that of donors that have come through already. So we have a few organizational donors. A couple of diamond sponsors. We have Stanford Healthcare, and we have Sutter Health Mills Peninsula Medical Center. We also have a longtime donor, Crosby and Gray and Company. We have Dr. and Mrs. Bob Rowe, Dr. Stephen and Nancy Weller, John and Allison Draper. We've got quite a few coming in.
Okay, and over here we have John and Arlette Monfordini. We have Deborah Griffith, Deborah Stern, Tom Hanks. I didn't know we had Tom Hanks. I'm so excited that Tom Hanks is part of our team. We have Florette Schwartz, Diane Cummings. This, again, like Marcia said, is just a small number that we're able to articulate while we're on the show, but so many of you have been so good to Mission Hospice for so many years, and we're so grateful that you're continuing to be part of us. So we really appreciate that, and we probably should remind them that the raffle ends at 6:30.
Well, it looks like the raffle may have come to a close, so there's going to be some good luck coming to someone soon in a few minutes. But what I want to do first is introduce our next guest. Our next speaker is Patty Krupp. She is a bereavement client and volunteer. And she came to us, Mission Hospice, several years ago when her husband needed support from Mission Hospice. Patty then used our bereavement services, and then she has gone on to become a bereavement volunteer facilitating 2 of our groups. So let's hear from Patty.
Hi, everybody. Exactly 6 years ago right now, in the autumn of 2015, I was in the midst of a terror-filled and isolating journey. That summer, my beloved husband, Lester, had been diagnosed with metastasized renal cancer and not given much hope of seeing the new year. It was so unexpected, so stunning, those words delivered by our orthopedic surgeon after an MRI exposed the spinal tumor. Tumor? We said, no, it's just sciatica. That's all it is. But it wasn't, of course, just sciatica. It was the earthquake that brought our world down. After a week or so of doctor's appointments, absorbing and processing each blow brought on by every scan, every test, biopsy, Lester had already reached a decision. I don't want to lose the time we've got left to painful and exhausting last-ditch efforts, sweetheart. So let's find a good hospice who'll help us manage my treatment so that I can stay at home. That's all I really want. I don't remember who steered us in the direction of Mission Hospice and home care, but what I can tell you is that as crucial decisions go, it was high on the list of the best we ever made. Not only did our nurse and social worker, doctor, and volunteers give us quality in-home care, but connecting with this organization turned out to be the gift that keeps on giving, which I'll explain in a moment. They guided us with their inherent love and compassion, their gentle humor, which Lester so appreciated. He was a joyful laugher. And in their unassailable competency, They were with us until Lester died on November 12th of that year. Now, I had been familiar with the hospice concept before this. My parents, my in-laws, friends, and other relatives all over the United States had chosen to put their end-of-life care in hospice hands. And all of them did their jobs well for the patient. Not one of them offered services for the bereaved. If a survivor needed help, he or she was just given the number of social services. And this is where, in my opinion, Mission Hospice excels far beyond routine expectations. At the lowest point in my existence, I was tossed a lifeline. When I could barely breathe, Mission sent me a grief counselor, support groups, a writing class where I could scream my grief out loud and everyone there understood it. They gave me endless opportunities to learn how to navigate a new life. And when I joined this wonderful staff as a volunteer about a year later, I knew I'd found my path to my post-Lester life. I'm a bereavement volunteer now. I listen to people who are just where I was in those first months, and I offer my personal stories when they fit the conversation. I'm a co-facilitator of two groups whose participants are all trying to make sense out of life without their loved one. And I am proud, really proud, to be a member of this bereavement team whose inclusiveness and compassion and skill in surfing the waves that accompany grief gives family members and friends a safe haven to recover in. It is an honor for me to give my time, my energy, my donations when I can, my recovering heart to the organization that I want standing with me and my family when the time comes again. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Patty. That is just such moving, important work, and we are so touched by the volunteering that you do and the time that you give. And this is work funded in part by generous gifts from people across our Mission Hospice community.
I'm just so amazed at her ability to articulate not only what she went through, which was so beautifully shared with us, but also what she did with it after she had the grief counseling and moved on. And not everybody's going to choose to do that. We all grieve differently. Mm-hmm. We all definitely grieve differently, and grief comes at different times for different people. But the beauty of what Patty's talking about is the fact that, and I think somebody else talked about it a little bit earlier in the show too, is that you know that you have the ability when you're ready to have that support. And so that's one thing Mission Hospice offers you, that if you want it today, they're there today. If you want it a week from now, or you need time to get things in order after you've lost a loved one, then you have the availability. So all of us have had losses in our life, and I'm sure many of you too have had losses in your life, and having that kind of support and knowing you have that in your back pocket is such a gift.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It really is. So thank you, Patty. And thank you to our donors. We're seeing a few more names come in. We have Sheila Young. We have Dave Rhodes. Thanks, honey. And we've had a number of other folks that have been giving through the program and a little bit before, Nanita Lindo, and we have Judy and Andy DePaulo, Jordan and Judy Bloom. You have any more?
Well, we have Joe and Helen Gulligan. Never can say that right. Jeff Drawd and Carrie Shanahan. Oh my gosh, you can tell I've been talking too much. Let's see. We have Joachim Bai. That's a name I haven't heard before, and anybody that's been donating before, we're so grateful, and for new people, we're equally grateful.
Yes,
so
thank you, and thank you for
so
any
fun.
of the reasons that you may be getting involved tonight. We really appreciate it. So the ticket sales have ended, like we said, for the raffle, but they're still bidding on auction items, and there are a few auction items to highlight.
Yes, there are. There's lots of baskets, and I think you mentioned earlier that the auxiliary put all the baskets together, which is one thing they love to do. It's part of their unification of themselves as they do this. And I know there's a set of wooden bowls that was, I think, made by one of our volunteers that's on the auction items tonight, and a dog basket. You could use that, Jenny.
Yes, I could. I have a dog at home that would love it. We got a Grill Master basket. There's a Nutcracker Christmas basket. Yeah, and some of these, the holidays are coming up sooner than we think. So, for gifts or for yourself, they're great options. So we have handmade wool purses, some holiday decor baskets. And then since I'm a nature lover, I am bidding for the beautiful photograph, the artwork of Big Sur. So I'm looking forward to that.
Beautiful. Well, with that, I'm going to introduce to you our next speaker, who is Isabel Stenzel, who is a licensed clinical social worker for Mission Hospice and in charge of our bereavement program. She's going to share with you her personal story of loss, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back and she will share with you the work that's done at Mission Hospice with the bereavement team. So we're so pleased to introduce you to Isabel, who we all love. Isabel, it's yours.
Hello, thank you so much for being here tonight at the virtual Mission Hospice Gala. My name is Isabel Stenzel, and I would like to share my story with you tonight. I work as a bereavement counselor, and I have been at Mission Hospice for 7.5 years. I can honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling chapter of my career as a social worker. This intimate agency, the community connections, the out-of-the-box creative culture makes this a truly special place to work. I believe that I work with the hardest working and kindest people on the planet. What else could I ask for? Now, I'd like to share a little bit about how I became involved with Mission Hospice. On September 5th, 2013, that was the day that I had to call hospice. I was in my identical twin sister Annabelle's hospital room. After 41 years of cystic fibrosis, 2 double lung transplants, and 2 years with small bowel cancer, it was time to recognize that Anna was at the end of life. And like so many patients, this reality was not easily accepted by someone who had spent her entire life believing in her ability to control her body and her fate. After negotiating with Anna for some time that she could in fact choose to quit hospice anytime, she allowed me to make the call. At the time, I was working as a bereavement counselor at another hospice agency. But like many hospices, my employer seemed more interested in productivity and corporate rules than caring for patients and families. So I Googled the 2 other hospices I had known, Pathways and Mission Hospice. I left a message with Pathways, and someone at Mission picked up right away. And within 2 hours, a nurse from Mission Hospice, Lisa Deal, knocked on the door at the hospital room. I was stunned at the rapid service. So began 3 weeks of Mission Hospice's service for our family. I remember the kind nurse, Amy Caparis, who stayed until 9 p.m. after Anna was discharged from the hospital, patiently listening to Anna's enormous medication list and helping her to realize what she could stop taking. I remember the family meeting with social worker Tracy Pyers around the living room. I remember the warmth of Chaplain Linda Sedal talking on the phone with me and Nurse Jane Porter praying for us. I remember calling Dr. Gary Pasternak at 1 a.m. and how he worked so hard to coordinate the pain pump in Anna's final days. I actually asked him, do you work this much? Do you spend this much time with every patient? And he just smiled. I remember standing by Anna's bed and feeling a tender arm reaching around to hug me, and it was Dr. Gary. Those hospice days unfolded slowly, like time paused to make sure each moment was recognized. I remember putting a cot outside on the porch where Anna lay in the sunshine and friends visited from all over to say goodbye. I remember the help that came, including our friend Stacy, who walked the dog for us and would become a Mission Hospice patient just 4 years later. The staff was just a call away and always overflowing with eagerness to support us. And so with the presence of friends and family and Mission Hospice staff, it felt like love was in the air and we were all breathing it in, love for and by Anna. Anna didn't want to die. She was defiant and stubborn and determined to be an exception to the rule of death. Given a prognosis of 10 years at birth, Anna spent her life fighting doctors, doing things her way, and showing them how she could beat the odds. This time, though, she couldn't tolerate the pain much longer. Yet her lifelong grip on life took time to release. Anna's husband and our family, of course, prayed for a miracle. The miracle arrived with Dr. Pasternak. I remember Dr. Pasternak spending 3 hours crouched on the side of the couch as Anna dozed in and out of awareness, trying to make a decision to stop her IV nutrition. He waited patiently, attentively, gently, even spiritually, to guide her through this painful awareness that this was not giving up. Anna found peace in his patience, his presence, his healing of her heart rather than her body. This is what I call a good death. After Anna's death, I felt like an amputee. I had known no world without my twin. I felt like I could not breathe. And yet, unlike many people, Anna and I both had cystic fibrosis and faced death for much of our lives. We talked about dying and leaving each other behind. We had written a book as a testimony to our love as twins. This prolonged anticipatory grief process helped me prepare for this transition to living as a solo twin. Thanks to my wonderful friends and family and my husband, Andrew, this, and most importantly, this good work that I am blessed to do, I kept breathing. A few weeks into my dark tunnel of grief, I received a voicemail message from Cindy Carlson. Cindy was the bereavement counselor at Mission Hospice. Her kind words, soothing tone in her voice, and warm invitation to connect immediately provided me a sense of comfort and some release of a disconnected tension. But like many grieving people, I was too consumed with estate matters and funeral planning to call her back. And in the months that followed, I received several more voicemail messages. I was still consumed with re-entry back into my work and just needing quiet time to stare at the wall. I still felt solace and relief, knowing that I'd have somewhere else to turn when I was ready. I even wrote Cindy's name and her number on a Post-it note and put it in my car and on my desk. Just seeing her name offered some kind of reassurance. And then shortly after one of those calls, I got an email from Dr. Pasternak informing me that there was a job opening at Mission Hospice and wondered if I'd consider applying. The rest is history. Now I'd like to take a little break from sharing my story. I will be back shortly after a few words from our co-hosts.
Wow, thank you so much, Isabel. We are so happy to hear that story and grateful for sharing that with us. We would like to take a moment to remind folks that we can continue to support the bereavement work through our Fund a Need program.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
That was a very heartfelt story she told about she and her sister, which it was only 8 years ago, according to what she said. I mean, my understanding now, I know from hearing it tonight, and I think we just have to be grateful that she's so able to share it, and she shared so many parts of what hospice is. You know, the different people that participated in her care, of her sister's care, that gives the people out there a real story of how it really works. So we really appreciate it. And I would like to share that I've used the hospice grief support for myself, and I lost a family member, and so it's out there, and they're there for you. So if you have somebody that you know needs grief support, or if it's yourself, call Mission Hospice, and you can get in touch with somebody. Will get back to you and give you the information you need. So we also would like to take some time to maybe get through some more of the names of the number of people that donated tonight. We'd love to have all of them, but we're going to try to get as many as we can. So bear with us for just a minute. We'd like to thank Charles and Jeannie Kushner, Steve and Marcia Terioka, Danette McGilligan, Marcy Brown, Kim Bruham, Bev Stowell, Ann and Bill Regan, Steve and Abby Fick. That's there. You take it away.
Yeah, there's many, many more, but to Kate Joments, Jaquetta Lannon, Monica Giannotti, Christine and Dale Rizzo. Yeah, there's just so much generosity out there. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. Maybe it's time to hear back from Isabel again.
It is time.
All right, let's hear from her.
Thank you, Mary and Jenny. Now I'd like to continue to share a little bit about the work I do in bereavement at Mission Hospice. My philosophy is that every grieving person who comes to us for support has lost their equivalent of Anna to me. While we all grieve differently and the nature of our loss varies, those who come to us have one commonality. Their life has been shattered and turned upside down by the death of their loved one. This grief, while grief is a normal and natural part of life, separation from our loved ones is one of the hardest experiences in life. I'm so grateful to be able to use the wisdom I learned from my own loss to inform my inquiry for the person who is sitting in front of me. People sometimes tell me at dinner parties about how my job must be so sad and depressing, and parts of it are, but my job is so much more than the sadness. It is about the essence of life. It is such a privilege to watch people go from the depths of sorrow and despair to slowly finding healing and reconstructing their lives again. I am a student of grief, and my clients are my teachers who have taught me so much: to cry, to laugh, to let go, to hold on, and to keep loving. We humans have an enormous capacity to endure loss and to find the spark to live again. No one is exempt from grief in this life. As a grief counselor, I am not here to fix grief or make it go away. It is as much part of life as love itself. I'm here to help people look at their loss and feel it, accept it, tell their stories, and help them build confidence in making choices to keep living. Though Mission is a hospice with bereavement care, I believe we are actually saving lives. Bereavement is a required service by Medicare, but many hospices try to reduce cost and therefore reduce grief care to a card or a phone call. But here at Mission Hospice, we go above and beyond to support bereaved people after the death of their loved one. We offer grief counseling to children, teens, and adults in the office, at home, or by phone or video. We offer a menagerie of groups for those with differing grief needs, from workshops to writing to art to support groups. We offer an annual remembrance ceremony for our community. And we are blessed to have a thriving intern and volunteer program, so the gifts of each of these people can be showered onto those who need a witness and a companion in their grief journey. And we could not offer all of these services without your support. The pandemic has been very, very hard for all of us at Mission Hospice, but it has been especially hard for the bereavement department due to the overwhelming demand for grief support from our hospice families and the community at large. It takes healthy teamwork, a strong sense of balance, inner resilience, and a supportive agency culture to endure times like these. I want to acknowledge and support my colleagues, Christine Kovach, Kate Nitza, and Tracy Pyers, who have all been mental health frontline workers through this pandemic. And of course, I'd like to thank all of my Mission Hospice staff and volunteers who put their heart and soul into this work during this challenging time. So as a recipient of Mission's tender loving care 8 years ago, and as an employee here, I want to sincerely thank you for being here, for supporting the Mission Hospice family, and for doing your part to keep this agency thriving and serving our community at such a vulnerable time. Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome back, Dolores.
It's great to be back. Thank you. I just wanted to comment on Isabel's description of the bereavement department at Mission Hospice. They are an incredible group of people. Isabel, I've utilized for my own family when we've had death in the family, and their program has really, I think Isabel said it right, during COVID, it's been very difficult for their bereavement department. Many, many more people partaking of their services, and I just want to thank them so much.
Yeah, and I think the take-home message here is that not all hospices are the same, and the rich quality of our bereavement program is under stress sometimes, and they are able to utilize interns, volunteers, just as Isabel said, and make it even richer with a lot of different offerings. So, that's in part thanks to donors like you, so we really, really appreciate it.
I think you've seen tonight a very beautiful gathering of people sharing their stories with you, with heartfelt, wanting you to understand how important hospice is and how important grief support is. And so we thank them again so much for giving their time and their heart to us, because sometimes those are hard to relive, and we appreciate it. And Jenny and I are going away pretty soon, so we want to tell you thank you so much for letting us be a part of your evening. And she's been a great partner.
Yeah, thanks, partner.
We're gonna help our CEO here. We're gonna help her spin the wheel, and then we're going to leave the closing to our very articulate and able CEO. So thank you all so much again, and here we go.
All right, okay, let's see who won the raffle.
This is a very big job, I want you to know.
Most important.
And I also want to be blamed for anybody who doesn't get it.
I want that bracelet. All right, here we go.
Let's see who the winner is.
Who is the lucky winner? Okay, we have a Robert McLean.
Oh boy,
so
lucky
Robert.
Congratulations.
Very nice. Robert, you get this wonderful bracelet for whomever you want to give it to. Well, lucky woman. So
we're going to leave you, though, let you say goodbye.
All right, sounds good. And Robert, someone from Mission Hospice will be contacting you so that you can set up a time to pick up this lovely bracelet. But on that note, what I want to say in closing is this has been a fantastic evening. I can't thank you all enough for joining us tonight and for your generous support. During these trying times, it is especially gratifying to know that our community has so much heart. Huge thanks once again to the Mission Hospice Auxiliary and to all the Mission Hospice staff, particularly Marcia Edelman and Kathy McDermott, for taking on the challenges of pulling off another virtual gala. Also, I'd like to thank our many generous donors and sponsors who have been instrumental in helping Mission Hospice provide the care our community deserves. I'd like to remind everyone once again that our auction will close tonight at 9. Please revisit the site and consider bidding on the many wonderful items the auxiliary has posted. And on behalf of everyone at Mission Hospice, thank you for your support and for celebrating with us tonight. We hope to see you and celebrate in person next year. Thank you and have a very good evening.